I'll click live. We are live, everyone. Bren, there is no intro to this. Usually there's like a 30-second intro. We're just scrapping behind the scenes here to try and get things together. Bro, long time no see. How have you been?
I've been amazing, brother. It's been I don't know, like fucking 8 weeks since we did the last stream. I'm just looking at it to me.
Guys,
Okay, it is live on my stream on my page, but yeah, dude, I've been great. Feeling a little bit under the weather today, but other than that, dude, been an exciting last few days.
If you'll let me, because I've told the entire world, is I also had a virus over Christmas, and you being a fellow man, you know what these viruses are like. They're worse than, I was going to say worse than pregnancy, but obviously like childbirth, but they're not that bad. I'm just about to get myself cancelled on the first live stream. What I'm going to do, bud, just bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just going to share the live link for the 15 people that are in here. Please just share the link. I'd really appreciate it. I'm just checking on the different platforms to see if we are actually live.
Bren, before we get started, if you guys, whoever's in here from most
all the majors, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Sui,
where's that? Where are you posting? Okay. But I'm posting in the Telegram real quick too. But yeah, the few people that are here chilling with us already on Twitter. Hope everybody's having an amazing Monday. At least for me, it's Monday, January 5th, 2:34 here for me. What time is it for you, Jayden?
It's 10:30 at the moment, my friend.
Okay, right on. Hope everybody's having a great day though. It's been an exciting last few days. Obviously, last time Jayden and I did a stream was here. Let me get this posted in the Telegram. Was about 3 weeks ago. And we talked about how, Jayden was asking historically what kind of marks these big bottoms. And I talked about, where we're at right there. We just made the 81K low. And then I'd said, we need a couple weeks at least of consolidation to really solidify this bottom. And that's exactly what's happened. So it's been pretty exciting.
Bren, I'm going to give you the biggest fucking build up of all time here, my man, because you are so downplaying it. But I'm just sending this link out to a whole bunch of people. We are live.
I just posted in the Telegram too. Let me share my screen too, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I love that. Right, yeah. If you got anything to share, pop it on there. Right, I'm just sharing the link out. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me get it in the VFriends.
And then where do we see? Oh, I can see the chat on my. Is the chat? Okay, it would be okay. What's up, Manny Bags, Dimitri? I see you guys in there. What's up?
Okay, let's add that on stage, bro. I'm gonna add that thing onto the stage in a second. But firstly, for the 66 people that are in here, I just want to give some massive flowers to you, Bren, because we did a live session. You've got all of you people commenting, which is pretty cool. You did this TA session, and I know a lot of these outcomes are really kind of probabilistic, but you fucking nailed it, bro. Like, you fucking nailed it. And I know that the market's quite fleeting, and when people talk about things, but directionally, everything that you said was spot on. It was like we had this big consolidation period for like 4, 5, 6 weeks, and the market structurally was changing. It was like it probably reached a bottom, and I know you were hedging a little bit. You said it could have gone down a little bit low, but it felt like that was the bottom, and that was the time to have a nibble. Now we've gone back up again. I'm not saying it's going to be up only from here, but fucking hell, you nailed it, bro. And just giving you some flowers. You fucking nailed it.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's just back then. I think the thing that gave me so much conviction, other than the charts, was like everything, and we'll talk a little bit about this, like everything other than the charts, because we had that big move down in 1010, so there's a lot of confusion and stuff there. But then everything outside of the charts, like the institutional adoption continuing to grow, the regulatory clarity, which we'll talk a little bit about today with the Clarity Act and the market structure bill about to be passed, which will be huge. Macro is only improving, and then we have risk assets, the stock market at all-time highs. So to me, the chances that crypto is going to continue to go down on its own just from there wasn't, there was a very strong bull case and everything other than the charts. And then what we talked about 8 weeks from now, if also, okay, yeah, I'm showing my chart now here, or my screen here.
Yeah, I've got it on the screen there.
But yeah, I remember, what was it? 8 weeks ago, what was it? On November 28th, I put out this clip. So probably a day before that was when we streamed. Let's just go watch the clip. Like the beginning. At these
can we hear it?
Can you hear that? Right. And what we're looking.
Yeah, I can. Just make the screen bigger there, bud. Just zoom in on it.
Yeah, we'll just play like the first 10 or 15 seconds. Before I get started,
okay, cool.
Before we get started, though, we didn't do that great of an intro. So people are popping in from the Telegram channel everywhere. Dimitri, I see what's up, Manny. Lucky, what's up, brother? Yeah, I will Lucky. I will check my DMs. But anybody who's in the chat, I hope everybody's having a great day. Appreciate you spending time with us. We're going to talk about obviously the move up in Bitcoin and whether this 94K final boss level, which I like to call it, I'll tell you why, whether this is going to lead to acceleration in the hundreds. We'll talk about NFTs, a lot of other good stuff. But if you guys could let us know in the chat 2 things before we get started. 1, whether this is the first time in the stream, whether it's my stream, Jayden's stream, and then 2, where you're tuning in from the world, what country. But yeah, let's just watch the first 10 or 15 seconds of the clip. Again, this clip, it's kind of weird because you guys probably see Jayden, a version of Jayden right now on the left, and then him a month ago.
I'm hoping for my royalties for this one because it's got about 24,000 views, didn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the clip did pretty well within the first few days, and it's been growing. So
we have this saying, this comical saying in England, which is just send a check in the post, mate. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll go do that.
I'm not joking. I'm only taking the mic.
When it goes to 1 million, yeah. No, but
when Elon sends you your royalty check,
dude. Yeah, I don't know. That's another interesting topic. But
you're good.
We'll just play the first 10 or 15 seconds. This was a month ago when Jayden and I were the last on stream, talking about Bitcoin just as it had made that 81K low. They always end. Usually, right? We look past the last 2 or 3. They ended with at least 2 to 8 weeks of consolidation, meaning it held a certain low before taking back off to the upside. So to answer your question a second ago, we could definitely go up from here and just V-shape bottom out. It happens sometimes. Kind of rarely does it happen.
What percentage would you give to that?
Just based off of probabilities of past corrections. But again, we only have 3 corrections to go off of, right? It's not a great trend in general, but just based off of most assets in general, this is what I talk about a lot on all my content, is the biggest sign of a bottom or top forming, whether it's on the lower time frames, higher time frames, is some type of consolidation, distribution, accumulation, some people call it, before trend reverses. So if I had to put a percentage on it, not looking at any of the other, nuances that we're talking about outside of the charts, I would say that just based off probabilities, very high, 60, 75% chance that it does come back down and at least retest this low. So I was just typing something. So yeah, it was that was right at the 81K low. I'd said that we could come back down and revisit 81K one more time. We did come back, as you can see here in the chart, about down to 84,000. Left that low untouched, so it's kind of a higher low. But then since then, it has been impulsively moving towards this 94K high, which is consolidation high of about a month. I can go into that. I don't know if you're
I mean, look. The bigger thing here, Bud, is there's a whole bunch of people that were playing the 4-year cycle, and I just did a video. I just posted it actually as I was walking out the gym, and I was obviously just about to go on this call. That a lot of people are reading headlines, or they were reading headlines. They're playing the old 4-year cycle framework, and they're applying a kind of old set of rules to a new set of conditions. And every single indicator shows that this market is not overheated. So it's like interest rates are coming down, the dollar's coming down, oil's loose, oil's coming down. In fact, it's gone down even further now that they've just basically kidnapped the president of Venezuela and stole his oil. Obviously, I don't want to get into a political conversation, but the thing that people do, and I think the thing that people mess up, and you might be able to speak to this, is the time horizon element of this, because people shorten their time horizon, and what happens is directionally over a long-term time horizon, these things are just going to go up. But over the short term, there's this volatility in the middle. And you said something like, which was the nail on the head on one of the calls that we had, which is, if any other asset goes down by 60%, it's dead and buried. But this is not any other asset. This is fucking crazy, mate. But how do you feel about, I mean, obviously there's a whole bunch of people that have got out of risk assets now because they're playing the 4-year cycle. Do you anticipate them kind of like chasing the train out the station and trying to get back in, and then this just like climbing higher until the end of Jan or Q2?
Yeah. So as far as like people coming back in, and no, and to touch on what you were saying before, I 100% agree. That's I think most people's problem, or just like I feel like it's I don't know, it's just a very common thing that most people only focus on the last few weeks of price action alone, like not anything in the fundamentals, like the institutional stuff, all that stuff I was talking about, strictly like the last 2 weeks to the last few months of price action. If the price is down, most people are bearish. That's all they care about. And then, this is very evident because I don't know if you remember, like we haven't streamed in a while, but like a week ago when Christmas was happening, it was, the consensus was everybody's bearish. And then all it took was a few days of short-term price action for us to go up to like everybody is bullish now. So I 100% agree. Most people only focus on short-term price action when the alpha is in long-term stuff, like on the higher time frame charts, I think. And just like you said, zooming out and having a longer time horizon, because I don't know, there's always going to be these volatility, especially the last few years. There's always going to be these crazy events. I mean, like
the volatility is like the benefit and the feature that allows you the upside. It's like people are experiencing crazy upside now, especially in some of these smaller, less liquid alts, because there's been downside. So it's like you can't just have one or have it go in one direction. But the thing that really solidified it for me is that certainly the assets that I'm into, and we can come on to it in a second, or we move down the risk curve into like maybe we have a look at an Ethereum chart, because it's a big part of the NFT ecosystem. But the thing that solidified it for me is that the assets that were doing well were just correlated with Bitcoin. So so you had like Bitcoin dropped 30%, you had ETH drop 40%, and then you had Solana go like 50%. And then obviously my chosen bet for this cycle is Sui, which went 60%. And I mean, mate, you know that I write a newsletter. I've got 90,000 followers on Medium. I've got 8,000 readers on Substack, and I have been writing bullishly about Sui, and obviously the price then crashes. And now all of a sudden you don't look like the hero, but the kind of harsh reality is that it's just a part of what happens. But I think most people's framework is like this kind of traditional framework of, oh shit, if this was a company, it's dead. Like something drops like 50, 60% and it's a stock. I mean, that's not coming back up. And that's why I kind of made reference to the thing that you said. But
no, yeah, for sure. You said a couple good things there that, everything is kind of correlated to Bitcoin. I feel like, I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I see all the time, like everybody, they try to find all these different explanations on why meme coins are down, why any coin really is down. Just these different things, the founder tier or the launch pad tier, when really, again, if we just look at these charts versus, I don't know, if you're a meme coin person, like the meme coin charts, or even some of the bigger alts that people trade, and put them against Bitcoin, everything is pretty much correlated at least this cycle, to everything ebbs and flows with what Bitcoin's doing, right? So 100%. Every time Bitcoin enters this bullish period, which I think we're going to enter, which we can go over in a second, everything else magically recovers. All the top meme coins that survive bounce. Some of the alts, the L1s, everything ebbs and flows based on Bitcoin. So I think that's all we really have to look at sometimes, and why we just study what happens to these top coins or these other coins every time that Bitcoin comes out of these corrections. It makes it easy again to DCA.
So with this pump in mind, would you be adding to your position now?
Yeah. So I mean, I can just tell you kind of what I've been doing the last few months, right? During this time, especially during this consolidation, because for me, I like to study these long-term charts, and it's really like uncanny. It's like every single one of these, and that's what we said in that video, right? Like every single one of these bottoms and go test this yourself. Like go in April of 2024, obviously the tariff bottom. What did Bitcoin do? Consolidated above this low at 76K for 3 or 4 weeks. Same thing in 2024, but 8-week version. Right here, another like 3-week version. So when I was seeing this, that's when I see this, like when I see that starting to consolidate, I know very likely that the bottom's in. So what I've been doing, especially this last few months, is just accumulating really a lot of those movement coins we talked about, just like 4 or 5, the SPX, Giga, MOG, USDUC stuff, because I do think the trend in speculation's going up. People are going to be looking for groups and online communities to belong to. That kind of serves the retail crowd. The crypto Twitter people, as well as the retail crowd, I think is going to come into crypto Twitter. And then the other side, really, I've been accumulating a lot of, is the other side of the kind of barbell is the revenue kind of producing coins, the hyper liquids, the pump, Zora, coins, all that have these flywheels attached to like these coins producing revenue. That kind of serve more of the traditional finance or kind of institutional crowd. So that's kind of the two barbells that I've been focusing on, just accumulating those coins during these last few months. And as far as right now, for anybody else, I think just generally, without just saying like right this second what somebody should do, generally, just real simply, is I like to accumulate during these corrections, which again is way easier said than done, because you can see just the sentiment and the quality of life in crypto during these corrections. It's like nobody really believes we're going to do it. But simply, you want to accumulate during corrections and take profit on the way up as everybody gets super hyped up. For me, I like to do partial profits where I don't take everything all at once, just take small increments on the way up.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that is a strategy I did not have last cycle, because I'm very bullish on the stuff that I'm holding. And to be honest, I didn't need the money at the time. Obviously, I'll probably do now for a few lifestyle things. But my mindset around it is not to trade around the cycle, because there's every chance, the fact that we've traded sideways for such a long time and Bitcoin hasn't been off to the races, that we now have an extended cycle, maybe into 2027. I mean, NFTs are right at the edge of the risk curve, and they haven't really popped off yet. And if we look at 2021, I mean, they went for about a year and probably about a year. But I mean, if they pop off in the next couple of months and they go for a year, this could probably go into 2027. And I just think you have an administration who they will not allow the economy to fail on their watch. It's just my opinion. And, interest rates aren't going to go to zero until, like, I don't know, maybe the end of the year, like September, the way they're reducing them. So, and they have to go to zero because they have to roll the debt, or they have to go to like 1% or something.
Yeah, got to get it lower for sure.
Much lower, because and I mean, I don't know what Trump's doing with this new Fed chair or whatever, but I imagine he's there is instruction there to just reduce interest rates, because they just have to roll the debt. Actually, Scott Bessent, if you read some of the stuff, the Secretary of Treasury, if you read some of the stuff that he wrote about before he became Trump's Secretary of Treasury, is he trades around the liquidity cycle. All of his investing is around the liquidity. So he understands liquidity. So he will have an understanding that rolling these debts over is going to raise asset prices. And that's going to be good for everyone. And it's going to make Trump look good and all these sorts of things. So they'll be thinking this. They know this stuff. These are smart people. They're not, whatever your politics. I mean, I'm just here for the crypto, mate. So it kind of is what it is. But do you want to flip to?
I think we should finish off. There's definitely finish some stuff off.
Go on.
I think we should finish off on Bitcoin, like kind of where
yeah
go from here. But also before we do that, I want to look at the chat, not neglect the friends.
Yeah, no worries.
Antino says got drained. I did just see your post, Antino. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That sucks. I hope there's some type of resolution for that for you. That sucks. Joshua, what's up, brother? How you doing? 11 said, "What's good, Bren? Hope 2026 is off to a good start." Yeah, it's been a pretty solid year so far. Like, feeling a little under the weather, but exciting last few days. I think we'll go over it here in a second, but I think this could be definitely be the bottom. Miss D, you said, yeah, Bren nailed it perfectly. I appreciate it, Miss D. Scripto, big ups. Lucky says he's in CAD, freezing as fuck right now. What's the weather like there for you right now?
In the UK?
Yeah.
Mate, the weather's always shit. Like, it was -3 when I went outside. My car was frozen over. And yeah, I hate the cold because I'm South African born. So
Yeah.
I grew up on an ostrich farm in South Africa. Well, I spent weekends on the ostrich farm. We were talking like 35-degree heat in the middle of the bush, mate. And now here I am in not quite the English countryside, but it's like minus temperatures. You can't even swing a cat in the house. It's that small. I could probably buy a mansion in Texas for what I've got here. But no, it's good. It's a good country, mate. I think a lot of people talk the UK down. But it is a good place. I mean, we've kind of lost our way with a few certain things, but
yeah, I'm sure it's like most places. There's good and bad, but
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Bitcoin. As far as where it could go from here, like I said, like I titled the stream, final boss level, and the reason is because if you go back higher time frame charts, every time Bitcoin does finally clear the consolidation high that it's been forming, which as you guys can see here, like I said, consolidation high is this consolidation between 82K and 94K that Bitcoin formed over the last few months. Every time historically Bitcoin's cleared that consolidation high, it's gone on all-time highs. As you can see, barely any pullbacks, just kind of a rocket to all-time highs, very impulsive. So that's why I call this the final boss. And again, right here too, every time Bitcoin's cleared the previous consolidation high, it's gone on to all-time highs. So probabilities are on our side as well, as well as all the fundamental stuff. But really, if we clear above 94K, I think we do quickly accelerate up 200K. But from there, the daily chart, what's really differentiated a correction, like I just showed you 3 of them right here, and then an actual bear market like top, right, we saw in 2022, is how Bitcoin performs after it bounces back towards this red 200 moving average right here, right? And a moving average is just like an average of the last 200 days. Essentially, in the 2022 bear market, Bitcoin came down kind of really hard, like it did a couple months ago. It bounced for like a couple weeks, but came back to this 200 moving average, failed to break, and then came down and formed like this bear market, longer bear market, right? So really the kind of final confirmation that we're entering a bull market, which I think we're still in a bull market. This is just a correction, which I still think is a very high probability, probably 80% plus. The kind of line in the sand is how Bitcoin performs at this red moving average. I think very likely this shit just powers through like we saw in April, like we saw here, and just goes right through it. But let's say Bitcoin instead, just to play devil's advocate, did this instead, where it just kind of chopped up, maybe went to 103, 104, kind of petered out, and then came down one more time like it did in 2022. That would kind of confirm, another move lower, which is kind of a couple weeks ago what everyone thought was going to happen, right? So I still think the very high probability that we just go straight to all-time highs from here and just kind of move through the 200 moving average. But for anybody who wants to kind of be watching for a final confirmation, I'd be watching the 200, red moving average to be that kind of last confirmation.
Do you think, Bren, with the amount of time that you check the charts, that actually it's just a spidey senses thing? I could probably not know that, but for me, it's a spidey senses thing that I just think this is just going up. We've had this period of almost max pain and like negativity around the selling, and now people are realizing, oh shit, the dominant force here is the liquidity, and everything's been so like mega bullish, the regulatory stuff has never been more positive. The macro side of it's like improving. So financial conditions have been improving while the price is getting crushed. So it's kind of been the price has kind of been a bit of a fake out, to be honest. The selling has.
Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody who might be like more conspiracy minded might tell you the institutions, over the last couple of years suppressing.
Yeah, I love it. I love a good conspiracy, mate.
Right? Don't we all? But the suppressing, maybe not suppressing price, but at least not pushing things as hard as they could and actually doing everything until they had all their ducks in the row, especially with the regulation stuff. So yeah, I 100% agree, dude. I've been saying for the last few months, I think all the stars have aligned, and I think on this next run, I think it's hard to tell once stuff is in price discovery how high stuff goes, but I think everything is in line to where we could very well we can see like the biggest run we've ever had. Like I would not be surprised if it's because of one thing, because I think we're going to see true adoption, right? And I do think we could push into 26, 27. Where we would want to be cautious is just like any type of mania. This is kind of undefeated. If things get too fucking too far too fast, where things go up too hard, there probably will be a longer bear market. But if price just continues to behave like it has the last few years, where we just go up and then a 6-month correction, go up and 6-month correction, I think shit's just going to go up to the right, at least the good assets for a long time.
Mate, 100%. I'm just taking a shot of this because I want to send it. I want to send it out. I think you're 100% right. This feels different though. This feels really different. This feels like things are a bit lighter. The charts are going up a bit more. And then obviously today there's the news that Michael Saylor's bought another 115 million worth of Bitcoin, and I'm like, okay, and not that easy. That's probably not even a signal because he just buys it whenever. I mean, now it's funny. His MicroStrategy or his strategy stock is actually trading at a discount to his Bitcoin holdings. I think he's got like 45 billion in Bitcoin. No, he's got 65 billion in Bitcoin, and his stock is 45 billion. So it's trading at a discount. So what he's done is he's selling his stock, his Class A shares, and he's buying more Bitcoin. This guy is like, I can't actually see what the issue is going to be with that, but it's kind of like
he's convincing.
But none. Yeah, I mean, like none of it's collateralized against the Bitcoin.
They have a very small percentage of the Bitcoin is actually collateralized, and I mean it's crazy right now that they're doing that. A lot of people are like, what the fuck, like whatever. The risk really in the MicroStrategy is that Bitcoin doesn't go up for the next few years and their bonds expire, and that just means MicroStrategy goes out of business. The bondholders would suffer. But I don't know. For me, I mean, my take, I think MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor are just going to get fudded every time we get a correction like this, up until MicroStrategy is like a top 5 to 10 company in the world, and Michael Saylor is in like top of the Forbes list. Like where Bitcoin goes to 1 million, and he has how much right now? 65.
Yeah, well, I think the market value is 65 billion. I think he paid. I think they paid a total of 50 billion.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin goes to 1 million, 10x's from here, and he buys billions more in Bitcoin. I mean, do the math, the net worth, and plus MicroStrategy's equity. I think that puts him at like one of the richest men in the world, and it's just incredible how during every one of these corrections, it happens. But I don't know, it's gonna be crazy to see. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, the thing's interesting. Like, that it's funny. MicroStrategy, well, it's now Strategy, but MicroStrategy is the longest lasting technology company in the world. It was actually his company that caused the .com bubble to burst. Did you know that?
I heard it's like what the news of his shit came along the same time as like the top.
Yeah, he tried to avoid paying tax or personal taxes, saying he lived in a different state, and I don't know what your like tax rules are over there. And then he had a couple of like accounting errors, and then I think they over-egged their profits, or someone was gymming the books or something.
Yeah,
he's like the longest. They're the longest lasting company.
I know. I saw the video. He was saying he outlasted 99.9% of his competitors just from the .com bubble.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So obviously he's doing something right. That longevity there is something that I think, okay, this guy, this is not amateur hour. He obviously knows about risk. None of it's collateralized against the Bitcoin. The risk looks like it's in the stock, because when the stock trades at a premium, he kind of arbitrages, I guess, the delta between the Bitcoin and the stock holdings, and he borrows against it. But then obviously there's leveraged traders in the system, because what they're doing is borrowing against stock and buying more stock.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shit show for people holding that stock.
For MicroStrategy?
Yeah, I think holding the stock, mate, is going to be a problem because
even if Bitcoin goes up, you think it's going to be a shit show?
Well, the thing is, the stock is trading at was trading at a 2.2 premium to Bitcoin. So let's say, for instance, you want Bitcoin exposure. I think it makes perfect sense to have a stock because there's a succession plan. Obviously, he's got this Bitcoin buying strategy, so you get more sats per shares. So that increases over time, which is fine. The succession plan is really important because if you die, then at least you could pass your stock on. If you die, you lose your Bitcoin. But the thing that people look at is what they're actually saying is this is a technology company and it's only trading at a P ratio of 2x or was.
Yeah.
So a lot of these companies, these technology companies, trade at like a 50, 60 times price to earnings.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you look at it with that lens, it's underpriced. And also all you look at in the same way that we look at crypto is the market cap. You know, what are the chances of the market cap doubling? Obviously with Bitcoin, yeah, but it's going to take a lot of buy pressure. Whereas with MicroStrategy, it's 45 billion, mate.
Oh, so you mean a shit show, like a good shit show?
Like sorry? No. Look, in a bear market, it's going to be a bad shit show. I mean, I think like you think about
I'll just
all
push
these
back against that a little bit, though. I mean, you look at what happened in the actual bear market. MicroStrategy went down like 80%, and like they survived, right? Like I don't think we ever even get a bear market like that again.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was borrowing, but he wasn't borrowing against his stock. He wasn't issuing these convertible notes at the time.
I will say if it were to go down from here and it was down for a year and they just went down only just straight from here and MicroStrategy would go into the 60s, 50s, you're right. What you said play out would be a shit show. But what if Bitcoin goes to 300K before that or 150K before that and MicroStrategy gets to 1,000 and then in the next bear market it just pulls back to fucking 900 instead, you know, and they're kind of out of the woods. As far as like being,
yeah, I mean, look, there's us saying it's a shit show. It's not going to be a shit show for MicroStrategy or strategy. Yeah. It's not going to be because it doesn't bother him. They've got a whole bunch of leverage traders. He's not bothered because he's not going to lose his Bitcoin. And you know, it might be a buying opportunity because then what you're doing is you're buying the stock at a discount to the Bitcoin, like it has been. Yeah, like it's like a 30% discount to the Bitcoin. So you buying this stock, I know the Bitcoin doesn't represent the stock. It's just a thing that has value. You're actually buying the execution of the business. You're not buying Bitcoin. And I think that's
there's the premium because people are speculating again on like MicroStrategy as well, not just on the balance sheet of Bitcoin. But yeah, let's just kind of close off on before we do close off on the charts. If anybody who's in here, or Rima, what's up, brother? How you doing? Joshua, Spicy Rich, I see you can't stop me now. How you doing? If you guys could do two things, like, comment, reshare, tweet. This is a kind of out of nowhere stream that Jayden and I are doing. The last time we did this was like a month ago. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Like, comment, retweet, share always helps. And then tell
Remo just called us Chads.
Oh yeah,
and I have had to put that up there, mate, because I like being called a Chad.
Oh yeah,
it's just no one says that in the UK.
Oh yeah, it's an American thing.
It is a Yank thing, but I do like, and obviously I know what it means. So yeah,
yes sir.
Remo, thank you very much. Sorry, man, I cut you off.
It's all good. No, everybody just if you guys could, like I said, like, comment, retweet, share, and then let us know where you're at, tuning in from, and then if this is your first time in the stream. Let's close off the charts though, JD, before we move on to
NFT. No worries, brother.
Like I said, I think Bitcoin likely, as long as it clears 94K, this kind of final boss level, I think it does move, accelerates quickly into 100. Above 100K, and then we kind of see what happens at this 200 moving average. I think all the stars are aligned. I would kind of take some kind of crazy macro black swan or something. And I mean, if you look what's happened in the world in the last couple months, like there's been quote unquote black swans everywhere. And it seems like Bitcoin's kind of shrugging all of them off now. And I think all the positive things are going to very likely push it to all-time highs and beyond. But if you're really someone who likes to look at final confirmations, look at that 200 moving average, maybe add it to your chart. And then ETH, same kind of thing. I'm kind of long ETH with, perps right now, kind of future trading with ETH, and same kind of thing. It's above 3,400 is really where we want to see as far as this consolidation high. And then the daily the 200 moving average on ETH is way closer to price, which is interesting. But same kind of thing. I think ETH's going to push up very likely to all-time highs. Worst case scenario, it comes back down to one more low for a few more months. And then last one probably, or I'll look at a few more. DXY, which is a dollar index, also looks like it wants to push lower. The dollar, which historically, when the dollar's gone down on the higher time frames, it's come with Bitcoin, ETH, so like crypto stocks, everything kind of going on a big run. S&P 500, which is the stock, obviously the S&P is at all-time highs, and I think very likely pushes up here as long as it doesn't hesitate. I think it very likely pushes up into 7,000. And then just Sol, probably the last one. Where is fucking Sol?
Yeah, Dave Ramsey will be having a field day with the S&P that high.
Dude, it's crazy.
Oh, bro, have you seen that guy? He's a UK guy. He's a bit of a socialist, and he used to be a trader. He used to be a trader for Citibank in the UK. He's all over social media, and he talks about taxing the rich. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You must have seen him on Diary of a CEO. I can't actually remember his name. Chat, if you know the guy's name, he's a bald guy, does a show. Oh, but you should have seen what he was saying about Bitcoin. Like, this guy's the biggest psyop on the internet at the moment. He's like, he talks with all these macro experts, and people give him a pass because he's from a council estate. So he's a bit rough and ready. Like, council estate in the UK is a bit like the projects, I guess, in the US. And he's got a degree in economics, but he talks way above his station, mate. Like, he's, but I can't actually remember what the guy's name is. And he starts talking about Bitcoin, and he goes, you know what? If I was Satoshi, when someone starts a conversation like that, it's going downhill. And he goes, you know what? If I was Satoshi, I would just use my Bitcoin to, I'd buy marketing, and I would just market this product, and I'd just get it to go all the way up, and then I'd just sell it all, and I'd dump it on everyone. And that's why Bitcoin's going to zero. This is how he speaks, mate. This is a guy he's got like 1 million followers on Instagram. And I'm thinking, fuck, he's literally, do you know what? It's going to fucking annoy me that I'm not going to remember his name, but he's I might have to put it into AI. Anyway, that's my bit of a story on some random bloke on the internet just talking about Bitcoin. And the thing is, bro, these people this thing could go to $1 million and they're still being denial. I had a message today from a guy who's been a regular reader of mine for probably since the medium, so for 5 years now. And he keeps doing this thing about, he's got this idea that because I write about Bitcoin, I'm the one promoting it, and that's why the price is going up. I'm like, bro, like, you think I'm going to move $1 trillion market cap asset or whatever? Like, come on, bro.
Anybody with any stock that they talk about, then, right? It's like,
yeah,
especially with Bitcoin, it makes sense if somebody's doing it with like a 1 million market cap coin. Of course, if they have any kind of influence, it could move the chart. But yeah, you're right. With Bitcoin, it's like you're just talking about something you're passionate about, or just bags.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I mean, but you come across these people, and the thing is, this is just going to be enormous. Like, you and I spoke about that Spaces that Gary Vee had. One of the things I got from that is the tribalism that people have. It's young and old. He says they do it with sex, they do it with race, they do it with all these different things. They do it with countries, they do it with political views. And now they're doing it with Web 2 and Web 3. So you got a whole bunch of internet people going, no, Web 3 is a bunch of bollocks. You've got a whole Web 3 bunch of people going, no, well, Web 2 don't understand and all this.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be Web 3 because that's where the internet's going.
I mean, that's really the vision, and that's what I think a lot of people are missing, is that crypto and blockchain is not only going to merge with the traditional finance world. They've literally told us both the BlackRock and everybody who literally like they determine what the financial world's going to do, and then the regulators are both saying the same exact thing. All markets are going to go on chain, meaning all the different asset classes, bonds, stocks, all these different things are going to go on chain. And then obviously, I think collectibles, gaming, everything. Essentially, the whole vision is that our whole world, especially technology, AI plays into it too, is all going to merge with blockchain, and crypto is literally merging with fucking everything. And that's why it's going to be so influential. It's like the internet was influential, but crypto is like right up there with it because it's can completely remove the middleman in like every single aspect, especially Ethereum. And that's why I'm so bullish.
Yeah, 100%. What's this chart you got up here, bud? Is that that's the SPX?
S&P 500. But yeah, just to close off on the charts, I'm just showing you guys all these different data points, which all point to kind of the same conclusion that I think, unless some crazy macro black swan happens, I think we go higher from here.
Yeah.
And then kind of the worst case short-term scenario is we could, especially because everybody's bullish right now, if we were to hesitate and kind of not break above 94K for another day or two, always possible we can come down to like 81 and do something like this. I don't think this is likely at this point. I think we probably break higher, but could something like that could happen too.
I think I'm with you on that one, but can we get an ETH chart up? I know there's a lot of people that are listening that have NFTs, and I know obviously NFT is a huge function of the Ethereum ecosystem. Seeing a lot of interesting stuff at the moment around some of the projects going up. Like I just flicked onto Mutants and they're going up while ETH is going up. And I think the thing that people miss is the multiplier effect. Because if ETH goes up by whatever 10, 20% and your NFTs stay the same price, it's just like, or your NFTs go up 10, 20%, you get this kind of like huge multiplier effect on the fiat amount, which people miss. And this is why the NFTs are just the best play. Like I can't get my head around like how it's not.
They're only the best play because nobody knows they're the best play yet. Like when that's aware and everybody's caught on to this multiplier effect type of thing you're saying, and it's happening so much, that's when it's not going to happen as much. So yeah, that's exactly why. Real quickly before we move on, Old Man, what's up, dude? I think Old Man might be having a lot of the same problem a lot of people are having. I was watching Thread Guy's stream right before we got on. It's really hard to pull up the chat box sometimes on the X stream. I tried to do it earlier. I couldn't figure it out on one of them. So Old Man, if you're, I'm glad you found it. I appreciate you for being here. But
okay,
as far as Bitcoin, do you want to get into NFTs?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get the Ethereum chart up. I know you did a quick flick on it, and if obviously you've already touched on that, that's fine. There's a few of my followers who are into SUI. If we get the SUI chart, obviously that's my biggest position as well. It's probably been the best performer over the last week, I think, along with XRP, simply because of the fact that it's smaller and less liquid, so it rises by the highest percentage. Let's have a look at that. Oh, that's the ETH chart. Okay, cool. So, but I'm seeing some wedge pattern vibes here. Like everything I look at on a chart now, I just like, if I see a wedge, like, it looks like it's breaking out.
Yeah. So yeah, wedge, corrective channel, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. It's a kind of wedge type thing. I think ETH, like Bitcoin is already at, which is interesting. Bitcoin's already at that consolidation high, and these consolidation highs historically, and again, go look at this yourself so you can see it. These consolidation highs where it's like a 2-3 week consolidation high, these are just big decision points right in the market. Whenever we move higher above them, price almost 100% of the time since the bull run started, when it trades above it, it just accelerates to all-time highs. It's just interesting to see that ETH, even though Bitcoin's already at that decision point, ETH is still a little bit further away from it. I still think that points to Bitcoin very likely just breaking above it over the next few days, and kind of confirming higher. And then ETH is just lagging a little bit behind. But yeah, I think this next move leads ETH to around 4,000 and then very likely to all-time highs.
Okay. Well, it's exciting. I think it's mega exciting for people who have been down on NFTs for a long time. And what the thing about where we are at the moment, especially with NFTs, is that a lot of the bodies have come to the surface. And now it's very easy to see value because you can see who sticks out like a sore thumb. In 2021, it was too noisy. There was too much going on. Like anything you touched 10x'd, and it was too easy. It was just like easy money. But now you've had, I'm really bullish on Good Vibes Club, very bullish on Chimpers, very bullish on V-Friends. V-Friends is probably the project I'm most bullish on, because these guys have been hustling. These guys have been working their asses off, and also they've been building community. So it's going to be really interesting. Rhythm King in the house. I feel like Rhythm, he's just put
Punkster, yeah. We can talk about that too. But just to touch on what you said about the NFTs, I do think we are moving into, and I think we were talking about this a few weeks ago too, but now with Gary kind of solidifying it on these spaces and everybody's kind of echoing the same thing, that I think NFTs are entering a new era of just collectability. It's all about collectibles. Collectibles are so massive with Pokemon, with sports cards, everything else. NFTs are just the NFTs that are going to be, I don't know, NFTs just moving into collectability. Like you said, people, at least most people, you and I are kind of talking about prices because we do see them moving up, obviously, as kind of risk assets. But it's very bullish that a lot of people, especially in V-Friends, are buying these things because they love the community. They're collecting just like they collect a Pokemon card or whatever. You're starting to see quirkies start to be the same way. Good Vibes Club, which I'm extremely bullish on. After this call, I'm going to get with my buddy Big Belly and buy a few Good Vibes Clubs. Really bullish on that project. Kind of in these spaces that Gary's been doing the last few days. A lot of new collectors coming into V-Friends from these two projects, especially
100%,
and then all over. And it's just incredible. Like that's why a year ago from now, I just bought a ton of these V-Friends all throughout last year. Is because I knew this was an inevitability that when Gary, whenever it just kind of turned it on in the sense of talking about this kind of stuff again, that all it would take is a few spaces to where the whole space is taking notice. And I think V-Friends very likely kind of takes over here, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things he said, which was really interesting, bro, is the flight to safety effect of the NFTs. Because what you'll have is a whole bunch of people down, a whole bunch of teams that haven't worked on their projects, but we'll have a liquidity pump that comes into some of these assets because people remember them and they'll buy them and think they're cheap and all these sorts of things and buy them blindly. So either people will sell it at a loss, a break even, or a bit of profit, but then they'll rotate those funds into more thoughtful plays because we've had 4 years of runway to actually just have a look at what's happening, which I think is going to be really interesting for the 15 or 20 projects that are doing really well, because I think everything is going to roll into those because they're going to think, okay, these are the bankers. V-Friends is a banker, mate. Like, I would bet my life on that project. Like, if anyone said right now, you've got, and this is obviously not financial advice, and you're the same, Bren, mate. I saw you, the way we met was I saw you on OpenSea buying up these assets, and I'm thinking, this guy's fucking doubling my cost basis here. So it doesn't need me to tell you, but there is nothing that can convince me against V-Friends. This is so simple that it's just who can drive the most demand. That is it. And then when you've got the skill of the owner being able to do character development and being able to build community, and then having the forethought to do 3 VCons, so everyone is now hooking up and we're friends and hanging out and all these sorts of things. There's marriages, there's there's all sorts of stuff, mate. And what brings us together is this IP. So people are just going to naturally collect the IP. It's so fucking clever the way he's done it. And the characters are alliterative. I've been saying since 2021, this is going to be the project. But the thing is, in crypto, especially on X, it's not popular to say that you like V-Friends. It's almost like you're a bit of a normie. And it's almost like, and there's a part of me that I'm just like, shut the fuck up, guys. Like, come on. This is the one. Get it. Everyone, every single person. Sorry. I'm stealing your thunder here. There's 557 people in this chat. I am telling you right now, you need to own a V-Friends Series 2 at least. It's like $150 or $200. You fucking need to own one of those, because I would almost bet my life that he's going to go up by a lot, because what he's doing is so clever. He's cross-pollinating the cards, getting like giving away cards which people resonate with, and the digital version, which is the rookie card, is the VFriends Series 2. Obviously, there's a Series 1 which is a bit more expensive, but this is the one. Like, this is literally going this is going to go up. And I know you shouldn't say that. It's not financial advice and all this shit, but I fucking bet my life on this. This will go up. And I've shared it with so many people, but people mid-curve it, bro. They're like, oh, the supply. Oh, the fucking this. Oh, the fucking that. It's like, what do you think?
Yeah, as far as the supply goes, I feel like Gary is just so forward thinking with everything, just years and years. You know, we did it in 2021. He knew, like, obviously we were going to see a big crash. So everything with as far as the supply, everything he's building, I think with years and like a decade, fucking years ahead of time. And I think 55,000 back in 2021 and for sure in 2025 is a lot. In a lot of crypto Twitter when you're looking at this small, tiny crypto Twitter bubble. But the NFTs companies that will win other than CryptoPunks, which have already done it, are the ones that are going to attract the 99.9% of people outside of this small crypto Twitter bubble. Right.
Yeah.
And VFriends is that. And that's simply what explains what you were saying earlier, is because VFriends is best set up and they're already doing it to attract the 99% of the people outside of people who care about crypto Twitter. Like, they're already doing it on Whatnot, especially now that they have the Privy wallet and everything set up on the website. Is just so many new collectors coming in straight from the Whatnot streams, just so seamlessly. And I think once NFTs start to kind of hit the mainstream and become a big collectible thing, VFriends is just set up to attract a larger number of those people.
Oh, 100%. What was the example he used of something being hard to buy? He was on the thing. He said he used an example, and that's where he got it from, because he had to take away the friction. Oh, it was eBay. eBay didn't allow PayPal originally.
Yep.
Or it didn't allow, I think it was credit card and PayPal. So what you had to do is you just had to use your normal card or whatever, and it created friction. And I think that's where he got the idea from. Well, I'm kind of just joining the dots together. He probably didn't, but he knew that he had to remove the friction to onboard people, which he is. But it's really interesting that he's actually getting genuine collectors in. It's so clever the way he's doing this. He's like genuine collectors, because you and I both know that NFTs are very hard to sell. And then you add a layer of, oh, I really like this. And the other thing, and I don't want to make this a VFriends chat or whatever, but the other thing that people in crypto miss, or Web3 miss, is the fact that for most of VFriends, it's their first NFT. Yeah. And the nostalgia of your first NFT makes it very fucking hard to let go of. You do not sell the first NFT you've ever had. You keep it as a focus, as like the provenance of your own journey of buying these things, which I know to people outside of the space sounds a bit kooky, but we know how, they're expressive assets and you get attached to them.
For sure. No, yeah. Just to touch on the whole normie thing, I think that's probably that's like a feature, not a bug, because like you're saying, like normies, you mean the 99.9% of people outside of fucking
Twitter? Like, basically anyone who's not mentally deranged like us, to be honest.
These people I've seen on Whatnot, like they just buy it and fucking not overthink it, and they're probably, these people who are just buying one are probably going to be up, I don't know, 10, 20, who the fuck knows, in 10 years, while the people on crypto Twitter are just mid-curving it. No, but I think these last few, I'm joking, but like especially with these spaces lately, a lot of people are kind of opening their mind. Clemente, this other guy on,
Clemente.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen him.
I've seen him. Yeah, he's with the NFT. He's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, he's great. He made a post saying Gary Vee has done more than basically any other NFT project in the last 3 years, and crypto Twitter's basically silent about it. He could have very easily checked out and cashed out, launched a VFriends coin, etc. Yeah, 3 years he's continuing to build, and he said how he saw the Disney cartoons. And then he just said down here, the real reason crypto Twitter doesn't care is because there hasn't been any upside. The NFTs are down only since 2022, which is not fully true. But so there's not a whole lot to be excited about, but you have to respect what he's doing. That's the one thing people are missing.
What did he say? What was his reply to that?
He was just saying in here.
He
wasn't replying. He was just.
I know in the thread. If you scroll down, it's there.
Oh, he said upside yet. If continue to build new collectors over time. So wow, he's pretty much saying there is upside if we continue to build. That's the number one thing. I'm glad he said that, because I think that's what people are completely missing about NFTs. And every take, I think, is kind of a lot of takes right now are hedged with this thing at the end, which is, oh, NFTs are great, but we probably are never going to see 2021 again. Like that's pretty much 90% of takes I see on NFTs are kind of hedged with that. And I think that's what people are missing. And when they start to see like a mainstream catalyst, which I think is NFTs are waiting for some type of mainstream catalyst to really get into a bull run, I think. And once that happens, I think people start to realize, oh shit, these things are going to go up a lot. And then this kind of, I think it will start a frenzy again, to be honest.
Yeah. I Rhythm King has just put their PNK SDR. Have you seen some of the price action that's happened?
Yes. So
on that.
Yeah, obviously Punk's bounce back. The NFT market in general kind of bounced back the last week. Punkster obviously is kind of a tracks Punks by a lot. I think probably a lot of those Punks probably sold on the way up too, which obviously drove the burning of the coin. Either way, Punkster, I did buy a good amount, kind of a little lower than we're at now. I wish I would have bought more at the very bottom, but I'm just really bullish on Punkster because I think
Bren, I don't know how to say this, mate, but if you were in my private group, you would have got it at an 8 million market cap.
Oh
shit!
No, I'm gonna get in the Carrot Lane, right? 800 million.
Shameless shill. It didn't actually. There weren't actually any sold, but what the behavior pattern we're seeing is that it's the anticipation of it chewing up the relisted protocol token that drives the price up.
Yeah.
But then I think people ordinarily will sell out into the pump, and then it generates that volatility. But the beauty of this thing, mate, is that the volatility generates more fees, which buys more punks. So your kind of downside is protected by more of those punks. And I think this just goes higher over time, mate. You know, you and I both know that this is just an attention game. I check this website every single day, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, we're 60, and I say we're 60% to buying the next one, and I just check it out and I'm like, oh, okay. And if that's my behavior as someone who's kind of I'd say it's my smaller position. It's actually got bigger, but it's if I'm doing that, what are other people doing? And then you've got the strategy tokens which are feeding this. If all the other NFTs go up, and they're chewing up those protocol tokens, and the percentage rate from all of the other strategies are burning, this can go to fucking Valhalla, mate. I mean, this is just going to go absolutely berserk. And it's just like, this is one, you know, when I first started sharing it, I was saying to folks, look, this is a like 20% of your portfolio type of thing, like no more than that. But actually, now that these other NFT projects are in here, it might add strength to it. And at the end of the day, you just got to do whatever you fucking want to do.
Yeah, I think punks are like the one NFT too that'll probably go up, even if there's not like a wider NFT frenzy bull market.
Yeah,
the next 5 years. Dude, I've been looking at a fucking punk really hard too. A certain one. I won't pull it up. I don't want somebody to snipe it, but
you've got too much money, my man. You've got this money tree that I don't know. You and Jerome Powell just got your money printer in your front room or something.
I will say right now, like, yeah, the punks at this like 50%, and not to talk of VFriends again, but VFriends went down like 15%, and this time that punks went down like 60% in ETH, while ETH was going down kind of too. I say that to say like I should probably get one. If I'm going to, I should probably get one before they fucking skyrocket.
Yeah, 300. I'm just gonna, obviously, like you said about the audience engagement, guys. 624 of you in here. Do me a massive favor, please just repost the thing out. For those of you who have come from Bren's side, please give me a follow. I write about crypto, so does Bren. We've actually been collaborating quite a lot. My guys, please follow Bren. The guy is absolutely unbelievable at this TA stuff. If you were on our live stream like 4 weeks ago, you would have known exactly what to do. You wouldn't have panicked. You wouldn't be playing some bullshit 4-year cycle. He like literally called it as accurately as anything I've ever seen. And I will be honest with you, I've been cynical about this TA stuff, but he just used probabilistic outcomes and actually like called it spot on, especially when we're consolidating for that kind of 6-week period. So props to him. My guys, please just give him a follow. There's going to be more stuff that me and him do in the future. I'm actually doing guest posts on my Substack. I write, so we're going to do this video, but a lot of you guys actually like to read some of the in-depth research, and that's going to be in written form. So if you just head to the link in my bio, you can subscribe there, or head to Substack Carrot Lane. Pretty straightforward, but we're going to be sharing some good stuff. I'm going to get this other one up. Rhythm King, good vibe communities, insane, so much passion and commitment. Bren, why is it you're going to buy one, bud? Is there something that you've seen?
Yeah, a few things. It's just like I feel like there's a few communities other than like apes and pudgies and stuff like that are really strong collector communities with like these, I don't know, they just have like life in them, and a lot of these other projects feel a little bit like the opposite. And to me, it's like VeeFriends, Good Vibes Club, and Quirkies, and there's a lot of like synchronicity between those kind of thing. And like I don't know, Good Vibes Club, to be honest, I don't know like all the background of the founders. I've read a little bit about it, but really it comes down to a lot of people that I trust as far as NFT kind of collecting, and like I just, a lot of great people are in it. Most people I've known for a while, and I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of life behind it, and I want to get the Good Vibes Club and then some Quirkies, kind of for the same reason.
What's your so the Quirkies one? I had the. Is there a new owner there that's kind of bought the project?
Poppy, Poppy, who I've got to know a little bit recently. Shout out to him. He's a good guy. He's on a space right now. It looks like, or whatever. But he I think he's been up 2 or 3 years. If I remember correctly, I think he bought it or took it over years ago. So I don't know if he's new, but definitely I don't think he was the original owner. But yeah, they're super active doing spaces. Fucking kind of a real collector community. Not really talking about floor price and.
Right. Okay. No worries. I'll take that off just so people can see us. I look, my take on Good Vibes Club is I missed it. I faded it because it was in the bear of the bear of the bear, and my mental framework was I don't want to invest in another IP play because it's going to need 3 years of runway. And the mistake that I made was the fact that they already had a business that was driving revenue, and they had put 3 years into the art. So they put 3 years into the art. They could have pushed this out quickly in 2021 and made easily $10 million, easily. Like some of the launches that were making like $4 or $5 million, and then on secondary sales as well. We can come on to that strikers in a minute as well if you want. But there's that. Then there's the thing of I've got a thing of right. What de-risks your investment with this? Well, the supply's low, the community's engaged. I looked on Twitter and I was like, they don't really have much followers. I don't think they're going to get much attention. But what they were actually doing is they built up a private Discord for like 3 years. So they built this thing up. Then the thing that I think de-risks the investment is there's 2 brothers. There's 2 sets of brothers. And the family thing is a thing, especially if they've already working together. And by the way, they've got this majorly successful digital virtual goods company or whatever it is, Toast TV, which I mean, they did the button for Messenger, so they did the features for Messenger on Facebook. So they've done some big shit.
Yeah.
But the thing that locked it in was the fact that the contract layer of Good Vibes Club has a royalty, and their business generates revenue, and they leaned into the strategy token, so they market bought the strategy token. So now there's a perpetual buy option on this fucking thing. So you have just this perpetual buyer that's just buying up the floor tokens.
So you're saying they're taking their revenue from the business, buying, and then just putting. Do you know how many they bought?
Well, no, as in they're buying the Vibester token.
Oh, the Vibester. My bad.
Yeah. So they would have had an allocation for launching this, but then what they're doing is they were taking parts of the royalties from the NFT and market buying their Vibester token. Okay. So then obviously the Vibester token is then generating fees, but then it's then building up a treasury to buy up the floor tokens of this. So it's like, it's perfect. And the reason why it's perfect is because they have a business already that is successful. So they don't need to, it's not like the model in 2021, which is right. We're going to crowd fund the money. We're going to get all the cash and then we're going to build the business. And we might not have the ability. They've got to that phase. And this is how I think BigBellyDaddy.eth just put
Shout
in
out
there.
to Big Belly, my homie.
Flywheel, absolutely. I'm gonna. Rhythm King is putting some good shit on here. Good Vibes Club launching a strategy token instead of a TGE is a big part of it. Non-extractive community value focus, mate. Rhythm King, I am 100% with you on that, brother, because I interviewed Tyler, and it was actually soon after Spencer put the stuff on the timeline and giving his views. Obviously, Spencer had a TGE, and he's got some investors and these sorts of things, and they get an allocation. So, and then the Moonster token or whatever it was, or the Birdster or whatever the hell it's called, is launched as well. So he's now got 2 tokens vying for attention. I felt like Spencer kind of went at Tyler a little bit and called him out, but his response was perfect. But also, I now think that this is going to be the way that people launch. And we always knew that the coins or the fungible tokens were going to mix with the non-fungible in some way. Now, we've had meme coins, but I think it's these kind of strategy tokens, because what it allows, the biggest problem with NFTs, Bud, the market cap of NFTs, I don't know, it's like 6 billion. The market cap of meme coins is like 70 billion. And the reason being is because you're going to check this out and call me out on that, aren't you? But the reason being is because it's a lower entry, so you get more people in. And I think it's perfect because, like I've got Vibester, but now I'm thinking about buying a Good Vibes Club. I would never have thought about that before without this token. And Rhythm King is absolutely right about the TGE being extractive. And they are community first. And it's the same with Chimpers, exactly the same with Chimpers.
Mm-hmm.
It's no coincidence that both sets of fucking brothers are good mates and they cross swords with each other and talk about this stuff. So yeah,
this must have been. I must have had this on here last time we were on stream, like throughout this thing, and it came down quicker, but it's bouncing right from this low. I'm gonna remove this, but remove the lines, but yeah, it's coming. Came right down to that low from November. It's bouncing hard right when Bitcoin's bouncing. This very well could be like the higher time frame bottom for a while. 4 million for this too. Damn, I'm gonna need to buy some vibes as well.
Yeah, well, the thing is, bro, I mean, like, it's if the business drives revenue and they keep market buying their token and there's a royalty baked into because obviously the marketplace has got around the royalties, but this is baked into the contract by all accounts. So they've got a revenue generating system which they can just keep market buying their own token, and this thing's just going to go fucking up. And the supply is so low.
Yeah, Big Belly, the team invested 1 million into Vibester, GVCs, and SDRs.
Is that confirmed?
Big Belly knows his shit. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Sure. Okay, Vibester. Oh, I love that. Yeah, look, it's absolutely yeah. The strategy tokens are such a big thing. I think they're going to be a bigger thing than people give them credit for. I just I've got a thing like, I think Adam, I know he's a techie guy, but I wish he'd just put himself out there a bit more. I think he did a tweet saying, I'm not going to do marketing slop. I'd rather just get to work. And you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being
well, maybe it's just like a technology they need to set up, and the kind of the market will, as long as they have the coins set up for it, like the market will, if the NFTs kind of have a bounce back, then it'll take care of itself, and he doesn't need to be like doing a bunch of marketing. But yeah, Vibester looks pretty good too.
Mate.
Okay.
So, but are there any things that you kind of look at? I know prices are going to get to a stage. I know we're not there yet. I know it's still time. You can dip your toe in the water and that sort of stuff. But I think what people are going to inevitably have to do if they kind of want that upside is move further down the risk curve. And I think it's got to be into NFTs. It's got to be into NFTs because this is where this is all going.
Yeah. I think NFTs are going to have their time. I think NFTs are going to have their time apart from crypto and like kind of decouple when they kind of are looked at as like how collectibles as cards are now. And I think they'll be the next frontier of collectibles because they add like programmable utility and community and all these other things that cards don't. And at that point, I think they can have, like you're saying, it's a whole different thing than crypto. It's like a whole asset class because of how much it's going to do, I think.
Yeah. No, I think it's, but the behavior last cycle was, I've made a shit ton of money in crypto. Now I want to show all my buddies. How do I show my buddies I've made a shit? And all my buddies are online. I've got no friends in the real world. I'm just talking in general. You probably do. But the old world, it was like watches and cars and suits and these sorts of things. But now it's like, hold on a second. I was talking to Zeneca about this. Like, I spend 3 hours a week in my car, but like 60 hours online. So I'm going to value these things more. And then you're going to want to socially signal that you've done well in crypto and show your P&L and all these sorts of things. So you're going to rotate into these assets that signal who we are online. And I think these online communities are going to be a thing. But the beauty of the NFTs is the built-in supply friction. Because now you know how much supply there is, and it's like a bank run. When you see the floor price going up and people panic, it's not even like crypto. And then you've got crypto going up, and it's like, holy shit, this is like a money glitch. The magic of NFTs in 2021 never left me, may I tell you.
Yeah, no, I think it'll come back just how crypto's just now starting to see adoption and everywhere else. I think NFTs will have that, hopefully, like right at the same time. I think NFTs are like just seriously a mainstream catalyst away from another like huge run.
Yeah.
And the thing is that could happen next month with like any company using the tech to like do verification, or it could be 2 years from now. You never really know. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like VFriends and the Good Vibes Club and the others that are like bringing in new collectors right now, especially from outside of crypto, could just go on their own run apart from any type of NFT.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you've seen like you said earlier about the VFriends thing, is that the floor price has been solid as a rock, hasn't moved because it's not correlated with the rest of crypto. The rest of crypto is selling off. And I think that's been its strength. It's like a benefit and a feature. Joshua ST says new all-time high. Question mark.
Maybe so. On Bitcoin. Yeah, I think so too. No Name says, good day, man. It's looking like an amazing start today. What do you think about Nubcat, Uranus, and Troll? We can look at that here in a second. Crypto Cowboy says, hey, Bren, awesome stream so far. Thanks, Cowboy. NFT Trigger says, NFTs will be your digital ID for anything and everything you do in the future. Yeah, I think the public wallet, too, is going to be where, like Gary has said years ago, that the public wallet will be like the new social media. Like, people will look at people's public wallet when they're like going to hire them from jobs. People will literally probably keep their resumes and stuff in there, like in degrees and everything. Apart from just looking at people's buying patterns, all that. So I agree. They won't just be collectibles; will be yourself in the digital world. Yeah.
Do you think there will be obviously, like when the social layer comes for NFTs and there's followers? Do you think there'll be influencers around NFTs? Like, because we've seen it on social media. I remember in 2021 there was like, if you had a CryptoPunk, you immediately got like 10, 20,000 followers the day after when you updated your CryptoPunk.
So are you asking, do you think influencers and big names are going to like be using like putting NFTs as their profile pictures? Or are you saying that are there going to be influencers like using NFTs to like further their brand, like building their own NFT?
No, I think what's going to happen is you're going to have the social media for NFTs, and you're going to have the social layer, and you're going to connect your wallet, and people are going to have a look in your wallet the same way they have a look at your Instagram page.
Well, that brings into another thing like Zora and the on-chain socials, right? Like that's the big thing on crypto Twitter. Most people, like especially bigger accounts, say that, oh, Zora's stupid, creator coins are dumb, like it's not going to work. And then, on-chain social, we don't need that. And then you see people like Gary, who said recently too that the next big social media is going to be on chain. So I think that would be the whole social media, maybe. And maybe this is not what you're asking, but like maybe the social media of the future will be like on chain, where you essentially own every piece of your content, whether it be an NFT or every post, everything is on chain. And in that world, I think what influencers will do is I think they'll naturally flex with the punks and all that. But I think a lot of influencers are going to use NFTs for all different things, like for community. Like I think a brand or a influencer will launch an NFT collection to build a community, maybe raise money for business, whatever they're going to do. Kind of how ICOs are now.
Yeah. I know Miss D said something. I'm going to go back. Clarity Act.
She said, "Hey, Bren, have you haven't forgotten about the Clarity Act?" No, yeah, Clarity Act. 10 days. I think they're voting on it. Trump said this earlier too. I think it was
just explain that to me then, bud, as someone who's across the pond.
Yeah. So the Clarity Act is one of the first, like the regulatory clarity bills that since Trump's come in office, the first one that they passed was that stablecoin bill, obviously, right? And then the second one after that has been this market structure clarity bill, where they're essentially market structure bill, I guess, is supposed to like provide core like laws for an asset class or like whatever.
Yeah.
And this Clarity Act they've been working on for a while. And essentially they're just payments. They're essentially just laying out guidelines so that banks, businesses know exactly what they can do with crypto and tokenization and all these different things. There's been some talks on they might like do token classes for talking about NFTs, like token or classifying those. But either way, it's just the next step in regulations being laid out for the US, which I think is going to allow a lot of more founders who may not have touched crypto in the past because of all this sketchy shit to finally actually build some cool shit, whether it be NFTs, businesses, tokens, whatever. So, Trump said this today, though.
Just zoom in on that. Is it playing the volume?
Yeah, you can't hear it?
No.
Could you hear the video earlier?
Yeah, I could, yeah.
Here, just still can't hear it? You can't hear?
No.
He's pretty much just saying that the current financial system is outdated and will be replaced with a crypto one.
Oh, lovely.
And just talking about the bill.
NFT triggered. But best believe Disney will absolutely own the NFT world, just like they own the animation today. Potentially, I heard Gary say something like that they would probably buy NFT projects that have that kind of nostalgia and then turn it into some.
That's another catalyst too. Sorry to interrupt you. That I think what's his name? I'm so tired. Not Mondo. He said on one of the I think thread.
Yeah.
That could be a big catalyst for NFTs or crypto in general. That a big Fortune 500 company buys an NFT company so that they can launch a token, or like an existing already NFT brand, whether it be like Pudgies or whatever it may be. And that could also be another huge catalyst, I think, for NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of how you're playing the next 12 months, obviously you need to see how things are going to play out. You said about selling out of your position. Are there any signals, or do you have like a price target in mind, or is it based on time? Like how are you going to scale out your position? And what's the plan?
For sure. So like simply put, I think these corrections are time to accumulate. For me, like I was saying, other than the majors, been accumulating heavy the movement coins and then kind of the flywheel / revenue coins, which actually includes Punkster. I've been buying a good amount of that. Also Hyperliquid, Uniswap, any of these with like real revenue and a flywheel. And so buying that during these times. But to answer your question, how do we play it on the way up and taking profits? It's kind of two things. One, you want to have, at least I have a profit taking system set up to where it doesn't matter where I think we are in the cycle or anything, that when this coin hits this certain percentage of profit or a percentage of gains, I'm taking 25% off or 20% off. And then so you kind of just have a profit taking system taking partial profits on the way up. So you don't really have to guess where you're at in the market. And you kind of have the luxury of when you buy really kind of low like this, you have the luxury of taking profits on the way up, but that's essentially the way I play it. And then just also paying attention to certain metrics like how euphoric the market's getting, how fast prices have gone up. If there's a huge retail frenzy and it seems like everybody's trading crypto again and it's getting super bullish, maybe I might get more aggressive with taking profits. But essentially, I have a profit-taking system set up while then also paying attention to these different things that I'm talking about right there.
I like it. Victoria Vidandi sent a message to you saying, "Always love the TA, Bren. Joined your Telegram."
Hey, thanks. Thank you,
guys.
That.
Bren, how can people join your Telegram?
Yeah, so obviously, if you haven't already, I'm on Twitter. That's kind of where I spend most of the time as far as socials. But also, the Telegram is right here, Bossman Calls, which I've been working with my business partner, good friend Bossman, for about 3 years now. Him and he started the channel, I think, in early 2023. I joined up with him in November at like 300 members. And then now over the last 3 years have the blessing of 40,000 subs all over the world.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and it's been great. Just literally the people I've met, like I think I met you from Twitter, but I've met people all over the world from like all different walks of life. Crazy, especially when I got on Instagram and kind of posted the Instagram and the Telegram, and you see real people, not their PFPs, people from all over the world. It's incredible the reach that Telegram has. But yeah, if in there, I post a lot of great in-depth any ideas you'll see on Twitter. I post these kind of longer trade ideas, tips and tricks, like giveaways, all that good stuff. Bossman posts good stuff in there as well. And then also I've been really making a push for the other socials, kind of as crypto's bubbling up here, especially TikTok. It's been a little different at not having a face content yet, but getting some momentum on there. So if you guys could also check me out, if you guys are on TikTok, Instagram, same name, Bren Trades. Shoot me a DM. I'll definitely shoot you a follow back. But Jayden said it earlier. Definitely check out Carrot Lane, everything he's doing, the videos that he's doing, the clips on TikTok, Twitter are great, and I know a lot of people. He's going to reach a lot of people as crypto blows up here. So check him out.
No, I appreciate you, bro. We've got a tailwind here, my friend. 849 people viewing. It's amazing. Just want to shout out to Victoria Vidandi. She, the person who just joined your Telegram, she's she's the first ever female solo artist on Ethereum.
Wow.
A lot of the historical community actually collects her work. Her work is insane.
Wow.
Make sure for you guys in here, just make sure you give her a follow as well.
Well, thank you, Victoria. I appreciate that. Appreciate the words.
So she's going to be big, bud, because what we've seen is this kind of this imbalance between male and female in the space, and this tendency for females to want to support other female artists, and that almost like a strategic advantage that females have right now, getting into the space as artists. Although I'm sure she didn't think of it in that way, but she will be huge because she's got a big audience behind her, and it's going to be very interesting to see how her career plays out. Exciting as well. Misty, you guys are huge believers. Gary won. Bren sounds as passionate about VFriends. What a community.
I'm pretty sure that 100%. Comment was like 30-40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I missed it. I don't know if you read that, but do you know what? I just scrolled through. There's something fat fingers, mate, and I just missed a whole bunch of comments. So I've had to basically. And Tino, any giveaways today, mate? We're giving away alpha. That's what we're giving away. Enjoy it. Hey, and do you know what, Antino? You're the winner. You won. You won it all.
The fact that you're still here, dude.
I've got an empty can here for you, mate. There's a Coke Zero. You can have that. I'll send it in the post. It'll probably cost me more than it won. But anyway.
Old man says, what do you think about Pepe and Popcat? I'll pull up just one of them. I'll pull up Pepe for you. But I think Pepe, Popcat, the surviving like 10 or 20 memes from 2024, I think are all going to bounce back, especially both of these. That's not the right Pepe. Especially Popcat. I think Pepe is too, right, on Coinbase. Maybe not Pepe, but Pepe making that big bounce back. It's actually kind of what led the meme coin market the last few days. Now it's up about, 60%? Maybe 80%, something like that. So
what?
Yeah. Pepe's was up from 3.7. Now it's at 7. So just about 2x now. Yeah. still, what is this, about 4x some all-time highs, but like we saw here, it can happen quickly. So bullish sign that Pepe is running. And then Popcat, same thing. I'll pull it up for you. I think Popcat obviously isn't as of an obvious one as Pepe, but I think it does bounce back too. Still on 95%, which is crazy, but I think Pepe. Go ahead.
Is that going to come back?
I don't feel as confident in like Popcat going back to all-time highs like it's a home run versus stuff like SPX and Giga and stuff that, one, aren't down so much, and two, have already shown that they bounce back. But I do think Popcat, like it's already showing here, very likely at the very least bounces back hard with the market. If Bitcoin goes on a crazy 6 month to a year bull market, then it probably does. But I don't feel as strongly about this one necessarily as a few others.
Fair enough. What about that SPX 6900, the one that Murad keeps talking about?
Yeah, I think SPX, like, even for people who are a little bit more iffy about the meme coin stuff, this coin is freaking 400 million or something.
Yeah.
If you have any belief that meme coins are going to bounce back, I think SPX is, in the same way that VFriends is set up to attract so many people outside of crypto, SPX is the same way. They already have people doxing with their face, making videos on TikTok. It's just a real cult-like community. I think it's just like the best example of a coin like after Doge, like being a real coin like this. So yeah, I think this one easily runs back to all-time highs and higher.
Do you know the concept of SPX 6900 really made sense to me, and Raoul Powell put something on social media, and it was one of these rare L's. Yeah. And he said he doesn't understand it. And the thing is, he was just like, but then he started investing in smoking chicken fish or something. I'm like, bro. But the SPX 6900 is so high premise, and it's got such high mimetic value. There's no ceiling to it, and also, it's like everyone understands it. And also, it's got this countercultural dig of it being 69, and like the childlike fucking crypto thing. I think it's clever, mate, and I think it's stuck in my mind, and I don't need to even see it on the timeline. The other ones can kind of come and go, but that one kind of just sticks in my mind, and I think, well, and then price action rules everything, mate, and this thing's obviously been performing well on price.
Yeah, for sure. I was trying to find that.
I did actually share it when it was at like 50 million or something. I think Murad did a video on it. And I think, you know what? I'm going to just buy a bit and just leave it in there, get some skin in the game. And then I wrote a blog on it. And I don't know if people bought it or didn't or whatever, but,
Julian says maybe you should get Leon and Bud on the show. Yeah, actually, Leon, I've never met him, but I've definitely follow him. Definitely see his content everywhere. That would be a good one. Thank you. I should definitely message him. Also, I didn't mention I do streams on Twitter and YouTube, but you'll see me on X twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays at usually around 11 a.m. PST. This week I am having on Tuesday. I don't think I'm having on anyone tomorrow, but on Friday I'm having on my buddy FFV. Who's also a big NFT guy, good, becoming a good friend of mine, good guy. It'll be exciting. He's been streaming a little bit too, so check him out. And then I think I'm going to have my buddy Craig on the next few days. We need to have Jayden on back again too.
Yeah, man.
And then
we need to do that.
And then also one more person, fucking this guy Basement Ron. You remember back in meme coins we were around, like this guy UFD? Do you remember this at all?
UFD. No.
There's this guy, like, I don't know, he's just like a YouTuber on talks about gold and stuff on YouTube. Pretty big following. But then he made a meme coin called like Unicorn Fart Dust, because he's just saying that's what meme coins are. It's just like bullshit meme, whatever.
Yeah.
And it blew up and went to like 500 million. And then now this guy Basement Ron, who I had on my stream a couple months ago, also really big on gold, so he just called it like crazy. But he's still running it and still believes in it, and I think this one might actually have a real chance too. But I want to have him on soon too. But either way, check out the streams on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
No Name says I will probably not be able to see y'all. Got through Nubcat, Troll Girlfriend, Uranus, but love y'all. Appreciate it for being here. No Name.
No, I appreciate it. Bren, it's now midnight here in the UK, my friend. I've absolutely loved this. I always love catching up with you, my man. We've got to do this more often. Maybe we pencil in something next week. I've got Burge and Simon on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Nice.
Obviously here on Twitter, or X, which should be good. Looking forward to catching up with those boys. But mate, absolute pleasure to have you on. I know you wanted to do this a couple of days ago. You would have looked like Nostradamus if we'd have done this 3 or 4 days ago, but I just kind of wasn't up to it. So you're the man.
All good,
You're
brother. Yeah.
man.
Let's definitely do it next week. But either way, yeah, definitely check out shoot Jayden a follow. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
God, appreciate you. Cheers, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.